Hey, welcome back, Dirt Road Customs. Been doing a few things. Gonna do a little update. I guess overall update. Let's look at it. So it's gray and blue now. I'm gonna tell you this is one of those 20 yard, at least 20 yards away. It doesn't look too bad. Paint jobs. So if you guys remember, it was peeling that old lacquer paint really bad, really bad. So I went through and I sanded, and I don't know if you can tell, but she ain't no beauty queen. She's pretty scaly. It's like I said, it's like a 20-yard paint job. Um, in hindsight, I probably should have just like did some 220 on it and got it smoothed out and left the patina and jumped on that bandwagon and sealed it and blah blah blah. But I wanted something that wasn't going to rust it. Let's see what else. Got some spark plugs, thermostat gasket. The head is back on. I got a oil canister for it, water pump for it. I flushed the block out. Had an old rubber expansion plug on the side. I pulled it out, pushed this thing outside. I rinsed it until it just ran clear. Now, granted, it's probably still got a lot of trash down there in the bottom towards the back. Put the new water tube in there. That was not just a slide-in deal. I had to freaking hammer that thing in there. When I have to take it out here, I don't know, hopefully never. I know it'll probably be at least 5 years. And I know what you're going to say. Oh, Brent, you can't keep a car for 5 years. You can't keep a car for freaking 6 months. We turn on your channel and you've got something freaking new. Well, I ain't getting rid of it, guys. I'm not. I've gone this far. This sucker's staying all original. Gotta roll with the punches on that motor. They used them all the way up through the 70s in industrial applications. And they just don't die. They can even be hurt and they just keep running. But I got one more torque sequence to do on the head at operating temperature. Do plugs and wires and, play with points. Hopefully, I'm hoping actually to probably work on it today and get started back in, get the ignition system, lined out to where I can start it. And maybe I'll get it running today. I don't know. I'm not going to get in a big hurry. I'm not. I think that's my biggest issue with swapping cars and giving up on projects is I get in a big hurry and it doesn't go as fast as I want it to go and I get bored with it. But I'm not getting in a big hurry. I'm just going to take my time. I just plug away at it. One thing I am looking for is I'm looking for some skirts. I'm looking for a visor. And man, I had a visor. I had one on that Dodge, that 49 Dodge Coronet that I put a small block in that I swapped. Had a nice Fulton visor on it. I wish I'd have kept that and stuck it in the rafters and then I'd had it for this. But I don't think a Fulton would look good on this. I think I'm going to try to find one of those ball cap styles, the smooth, more rounded style to go on this, and I want to put some skirts on it. I mean, it does tuck wheel a little bit, just stock. Or maybe just put some blocks on it, just lower the back. I'm of that generation where I like to lower the back of these old cars and leave the front kind of stock ride height, kind of give it a little lean back. Not that Carolina squat bullshit, but kind of a tail drag, kind of, not extreme. These things are bulbous and square, so they don't have that nice sway to them, but it does kind of get them down out of that atmosphere a little bit. But that's just a Krylon industrial enamel paint that we use at work. I got some cans of it, and that is a high heat engine paint. I think it's like Ford blue, like new blue or maybe old blue. I don't know, but it's a high heat engine paint on the top, and it needs another coat. But you only sand and paint so much, and I said heck with it. I still have to do the freaking hood. Still have to sand the hood, and I'll have to find another can of that or something very, very close to it. And then I'll be done with it. I still have the Ford. Y'all reach out. I'll take $1,800 for everything, and I mean that's both motors, the car, title. You've seen what I've done to it, when I've slacked on doing to it. Reach out. I'm in Oklahoma, eastern Oklahoma. You'd have to haul it. I ain't delivering it. I don't have a car hauler. My daily is a Mitsubishi. You know, we have a 3/4 ton truck for the farm, so I ain't hauling it. Leave a comment. I'll give you my phone number if you want to talk to me about it. Excuse me. But I just figured I'd give you all a little rundown. Let you see my progress. It's not a lot. I'm proud of it though. I mean, I am. I think it'll be, even if it needs a carb rebuilt or whatever. I honed out the cylinders, put some nice crosshatch in them. It's got fresh oil in it. All it needs is compression, spark, and fuel. And I do that every day at work, so we're just going to get her going and see where we get. Once we get it started and running, idling smooth, and circulating the coolant smooth, and I'm at a level where I like it. We're either going to tear the interior out, and we'll probably do that. We'll tear the interior out and get it out of the way, because I want to get the carpet out of there. The carpet it looks like the rest of the interior. It's ugly. I'm going to pull it all up, get all the loose. I'm sure there's the flaky rust under there. I've been under this car multiple times. I don't see any holes, none. So I'm hoping it's pretty solid. It's probably just scaly. I want to paint it with that Eastwood rust encapsulator. It's probably not the right terms for it, but you paint it on the rust and it goes on one color and it turns black and kills the rust and does magical shit. And then when that's out, I'll have room to lay my big old butt down on that floorboard and get underneath that dash. And we're going to remove the wiring out of this thing. I'm going to sweet talk my wife into getting one of the Speedway cloth covered universal harnesses, because I'd kind of like to make it look like it's stock, but with a little modern shit. It will be a 12 volt system, so that'll be bulbs and everything that'll have to be changed. We'll get through the wiring and all that, and we'll have headlights, stoplights, running lights, dome light, gauge lights, everything will work. I like to run with original gauges. They're pretty roached, so that might be something on the grocery list. What else? And then we'll move on to like brakes. Brakes on these things are not cheap. They have a wheel cylinder on the top and on the bottom, opposing. So they just push one shoe at a time. One pushes one way and the other pushes the other way. It's a pretty neat little system with a short hard line in between them. But like I said, they're not cheap. There are disc brake kits out there, and they cost a little more than what you're going to pay for your brakes. The place I work, we have vehicles that run drum brakes And the people that run these vehicles are going all out all the time. And drum brakes to me they're just fine. I believe they developed disc brakes just for simplicity. I think it was a safety issue, yes, but I think it was in those steps to make people have to go to the dealership and get it fixed and this and that. Because now we have disc brakes out there that have sensors in them and you can't do anything to it because the sensors failed or this or that. Yeah, you know. But I won't keep rambling. It's Saturday morning. I got things to do. I got to go get feed for the hogs, and I got donkeys now. You know, because because chickens are our starting drug around here. And we moved from chickens to guineas to hogs, and now I have 3 donkeys. But I gotta get them feed and stuff. You guys have a good weekend. Get out there and work on something. Like, share, subscribe, please. Share this with your friends. I'd appreciate it. You know, I ain't in this to make money. I just like doing short videos and stuff I'm working on. I eventually want to get a tripod set up and maybe get my hands a little dirty with try to be on the camera. But I won't keep you guys. Y'all have a good one. Bye.